amigos de TvAgro, les habla Weimar Garnica.
Hello friends of TvAgro, this is Weimar Garnica in our vivero portal del Eden. Welcome. Today we will talk about fruit trees. As we can see, here we have trees whose fruits are tree tomato, fioya,
El manzano, el brevo, como lo pueden ver,
apple tree, heirloom. These are very popular species in our cold climate, as well as the caruba, but plum, cherry.
el pero, el ciruelo, la cereza, son especies también que manejamos aquí en nuestro vivero.
These species we have here in our nursery portal del Eden. How does a fruit plant develop? What is the right size for it to grow?
De su crecimiento, cuándo se le puede hacer una poda, cuándo se puede abonar.
Where can it be pruned? When can it be fertilized? When can we receive our fruit? These are some of the questions we ask ourselves when we buy a fruit tree. I will be happy to explain. The species of heather is very popular for its taste, its fruit, its conditioning, and its resistant development.
Resistente. Ella, su frutal es muy desarrollado muy rápidamente.
This tree bears its fruit in a short time. Its stem is small and it is pruned homogeneously.
Homogénea para su crecimiento no sea abrupto y sea asequible para poder ser en un jardín.
So that its growth is not abundant. It is affordable and so that it can be planted in a pot and kept in a garden or a patio where it has good light and ventilation. I want to clarify that for every fruit plant, it needs good ventilation so that it can make its oxygenation process.
Puede ser luz directa o indirecta, pero desde que tenga buena ventilación y buen drenaje a nuestras plantas. Eso es otra prioridad.
It is also necessary that it gets light, no matter if it is direct or indirect, as this helps to drain our plants. This is what should be taken into account to give us an idea of where we can leave our tree. This should be taken into account to give us an idea of where we can leave our fruit tree. It is important to know another priority in our drainage in our fruit trees because we cannot be flooded because the root can rot or generate fungus. The fungus is a very feasible disease in our fruit trees. For that reason, at the time of irrigation, should prevent flooding to our plant. We have already talked about the size of the heather and that pruning is to your taste, just as it is a plant that bears fruit constantly.
El abono sí es cada mes, mensual, puede ser orgánico o químico.
Now I want to talk to you about the fertilizer. The fertilizer is recommended to be monthly and can be organic or chemical. It depends on taste and economy.
Como pueden ver, este árbol
In the feijoa, as you can see, this tree is very leafy. It is recommended that it is left at a height of 1 meter to 1.5 meters.
menos de este corte no se le puede hacer. Mejor tenerlo de una altura de 1 metro a 1 metro y medio para que él desarrolle.
For him to develop and give us our fruit. Also, fertilize it and fertilize it monthly. In turn, should handle a good drainage. Why?
También darle un buen drenaje porque su raíz es muy delicada.
This tree has very delicate roots. It is prone to fungus and gives us a lot of diseases which affect our fruit.
Su punto de siembra. O cuando quieran sembrar digamos, un frutal, hay que, si quieren en materas.
It is advisable that when planting this type of tree, drainage is taken into account. Now, if the planting is to be done in a pot, it is advised to be wide and deep. But if you're going to plant it in soil, It is advised to take into account a measure of 50 by 50 for the development of its fruit is adequate and does not give us any discomfort for its development.
Es el tomate de árbol. Como pueden ver, su crecimiento no es tan ancho.
In the case of the tree tomato, as you can see, it is not so leafy, it is rather long. The development of this plant is very fast, so that it does not grow too big.
Cortamos el cogollo principal para obtener más productividad.
We cut the main bud, and in this way we will obtain more productivity and access to our tomato. When it gives us the fruit,
El fruto, tener en cuenta de que no dañar las hojas.
take into account not to damage the leaves, the stems. Because it is very fragile, from this point of view, it is necessary to take it gently. For this reason, it is pruned so that its growth is not so big and we can have easy access to the fruit tree.
En eso se ve. También su alimento puede ser fertilizado.
It can be fertilized monthly. Its development is quite fast. Its drainage is not so demanding, but it is necessary to keep it humid.
Bastante de agua. Más que por lo que es un árbol bastante grande.
Because due to its size, it requires a lot of water.
La otra especie que vemos es el plátano. Es una especie también que es muy apetecida aquí en clima frío, pero como
The plane tree is also a species which is very popular here in cold climates. But as an ornamental plant, it makes its own development, its own growth.
Depende del tamaño que uno quiera, depende de su maceta. Él es se ha adaptado mucho al clima frío.
It depends on the size you want in its pot. It has adapted to the cold climate. The only disadvantage is that it does not develop fruit. It will only produce seed. It is known as a banana tree.
Que más que todo lo llamamos así, ya que no coge su punto de desarrollo en frutal.
As it does not reach its fruit development point, it is a very popular plant for our gardens and parks.
En nuestros parques. Otras plantas que tenemos y manejamos también son la curúa, la ciruela.
Other plants that we handle are caruba, plum and cherry. They are also very desirable for fruit. They have a spectacular development with good foliage, very productive. We can also handle them in our cold climate. They are very adaptable. They need a lot of water, good manure and fertilizer, and we have fruit productivity.
Eso a base de todos nuestros frutales. Bueno, como podemos ver en esta planta, la planta de feijoa, vamos a hacer una poda correcta. ¿Por qué una poda a nuestros árboles?
As we can see, the feijoa plant will be pruned correctly. Why prune our trees? We are not going to do them any harm. You may ask yourselves, if I cut off a part of it, will I damage and infect our fruit tree? No, not at all. Correct pruning is for our trees to develop well, to be easily accessible to our fruit trees, to develop more fruit, and it is like when you go to the beauty salon, you get a good haircut. We do the same to our fruit trees so that our fruits come out of excellent quality.
De excelente calidad. Bueno, el paso primero es mirar qué cogollos altos podemos cortar que no nos afecten nuestra planta. Como podemos ver
The first step is to look at what high buds we can cut that do not affect our plant. As we can see this one, the highest we cut it in a spiral.
Lo cortamos en espiral para que se nos cicatrice más rápido y el agua.
The highest we cut it in a spiral so that it heals faster. When we cut it directly, the water does not affect us and we do not get the fungus.
Una tierrita le pasamos para que se nos cicatrice y no afecte nada, un hongo, una bacteria o algo a nuestra fruta. Ya en esta parte lo dejamos lo mismo.
That is to say, we take the same soil, we pass it so that it heals and does not affect a fungus, a bacteria or something to our fruit. In this part, we do the same so that its growth is homogeneous. And we do the same sealing procedure, and so we will have a good apodation, growth and development of our fruits.
Mismo procedimiento de sellado y así tendremos un buen apoda, un buen crecimiento y un buen desarrollo de nuestras frutas. Y ya se nos irá frondoseando a los lados para que el árbol se desarrolle.
And little by little it becomes leafy on the sides so that the tree develops and we have good access to our plant.
Entonces hoy hablamos de nuestras plantas frutales. Cualquier duda.
Today we talk about our fruit plants. Any questions, concerns, you can contact us here in our nursery, the Portal of Eden. Here you are always welcome, our TvAgro family. Thank you, Wima Ganika, your friend of TvAgro.